It could break you or it can make you.
And for most people, it usually breaks them. For everybody, it breaks them. But for the ones that it makes, it's because they've endured, going full circle to the stuff we talked at the beginning, they endured all the failures that inevitably broke them. And that ego will break you. And that's where you have to learn from it, stand back up, dust yourself off, and understand, maybe I wasn't handling my sword the right way. Maybe I gotta be a little more mindful in how I even allow this ego to navigate me in my life. Because are you controlling your ego or is it controlling you?
That's a good question.
When you come in here, I'll answer it for you.
There you go. If you need your ego checked.
SST is here for you.
SST, baby. It's just crazy because my mom today, like, I had a break in between a client, stuff like that, and she could just tell that, you know, I feel better, you know what I'm saying? And not that I didn't feel good before, you know what I'm saying? But it's just being like the way I carry myself more, I guess, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even with, you know, going through certain things here and there, you know, just having faith in, you know, that everything's going to be cool, you know?
Just since you've been back, and again, I promise, it doesn't matter if you're in here, it doesn't matter if you're in therapy, it doesn't matter if you hired a personal trainer. It's just about the fact of you going out and doing something to make Rudy better. Even your mom noticing subtle changes in the short amount of time. Do you feel any substantial change just since you've been back with the boxing?
Most definitely. I mean, beforehand, I was, you know, working out already to get back in here because I knew if I did not do that, bro, I was going to be dead. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I was already on the verge of, you know, getting to where I want to be, supposedly, you know what I'm saying? But definitely stepping back in here had brought a whole new look back on to what or how maybe I should be going about it, you know, because before, I mean, I was prepping as well, you know, my meals and everything like that. And that feels great. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Like, and I don't know, bro. I don't know if you get the same feeling, but you feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when you're on your shit, you know what I'm saying?
It's that, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No.
It's that sense of accomplishment. It's that sense of when we were hunters and gatherers from which our bodies anatomically evolved. It's the same feeling we got when we actually murdered that mammoth, brought it home, and everybody's feasting because of our efforts. Everybody eating because we're actually trying our best to be our best. And it's like, you were already optimal and efficient, like I wrote right on the chart all the time. It's like you're already operating at such an optimal and efficient level that you don't necessarily need someone like me to come into your life and tell you can be even better. It's just recognizing no matter how optimal you are, you can still be better. And again, bro, it's like for someone like you, I have to push you to the point where you want to punch me in the face. You feel me?
Yeah.
In order for you to actually see how far your threshold is capable of being pushed and allowing you to grow even better.
Right.
Because that's what it's about, man. It's about, yeah, you can find the fulfillment on your own, and that's always good. But is that the most optimal way to actually push yourself to be better than you were yesterday? I don't know if that's I think a lot of people have that internal integrity, but I don't think a lot of people are born with that. I think you have to be conditioned and raised a certain way to even have that. And again, you were raised in such a way, bro, and you at least were blessed to have enough discipline in your upbringing where a lot of these foundational disciplines are foundational.
Mm-hmm.
But then it makes it harder for someone like you to then have somebody who's not only worthy of being able to push you, but can actually push you.
Right.
And that's why I say it's not about being in here. It's not about being in a specific therapist's chair. It's about being somewhere where you can get the fulfillment and decompression that you in particular need. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, brother. And it shows just in it shows in the footage. It shows in your daily growth, just in the kicking off the rust of your old bad habits that were accumulated from not being in here to where, like you said, when you finally get back in here, it's just about reminding yourself who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Reminding yourself every day what you're capable of. And I act as a conduit just to remind you of that.
Right. Hell yeah. It's dope.
I find so much inspiration in a man like you who's already pretty sufficient, knowing he can be even more sufficient.
Mm.
It's like the best way I could describe it is, especially in terms of the integrity of you as a man, is it's like seeing a billionaire. They don't need to be in shape if they're out of shape and are sloppy as a billionaire. They're a billionaire.
Right.
Imagine how much more. Imagine how much more you could have in your life, not just in terms of wealth and finances, because I guarantee you, if you're a billionaire and you're sloppy and you fix your health, your wealth will be fixed as well in terms of you making more money, right? It's a whole nother conversation. But in terms of your standard of living, in terms of the happiness that's able to be facilitated in your life, in terms of the contentment, the non-necessary stress that's in your life, right? Especially as a billionaire, you're going to be stressful, but it's like, how necessary is some of that stress, especially if your nutrition and fitness habits are garbage. It's like, truly, what is your standard of living at that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me to see a man like you who's equivalent to the sufficiency of, let's just say, a billionaire with respect to your integrity as a man with the discipline and work ethic that you maintain and carry, it's inspiring for me to see you get out of your comfort zone, come into a place like here and nearly act or be treated like a child doing something for the first time.
Right.
In that, when you walk and fall, I tell you to get up, but without treating you like a child.
Right.
I tell you to get up like you're a man who doesn't know how to walk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that can test your ego, especially if you're a proverbial billionaire or an already self-sustained man where you don't need this. And you could easily, when you get pushed to that limit, when you want to beat somebody's ass, you could easily get to the point where you're like, hey, I don't need this, dog.
Right.
I don't need you talking to me the way you're talking to me. I don't need you psychoanalyzing me the way you're psychoanalyzing me.
Mm.
I don't need this. I don't need to hear these rambles. I don't need to be overwhelmed with these conversations while I'm dead, tired, physically fatigued, and don't want to even think, let alone hear all this shit you're talking about. You would be so substantiated in getting the F out of here. But what inspires me is you legit having the wherewithal to stick it out and to truly push yourself every time you do come in here.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure you got more clients like that. You know what I'm saying? It's something that, you know, at a certain point, I mean, everybody's got an ego, you know what I'm saying? But at a certain point, you know, you got to know when, you know, somebody's trying to help you. You know what I'm saying? And so when I come here, that's what I know I'm getting. You know what I'm saying? Is help, you know, and whether it's the physical, the mental, the spiritual, you know what I'm saying? A mini counseling session, you know, I'm, like I said, trying to soak everything in and whether I think that I deserve to be talked to or not to a certain extent.
For sure.
You know
Yeah, I'm not in
saying?
here just calling you a bitch or nothing, right? But I'm testing the ego enough to get you to be justified in your retaliation. But then at that point, it's like, where is the retaliation actually coming from? Is it the way I'm saying it, or is it the way you're receiving it? Because honestly, what I'm saying isn't necessarily bad, but how I'm saying it may be because of the conviction, the intensity, the passion. And that's where I've had people, bro, who've literally said, put their watch on and said, I didn't pay for this, bro. You know what I said? Good, because I don't want your money.
Damn.
Nor do I need it at that point.
That's crazy, bro.
Because they don't understand, though. Their ego's too heightened for them to think they could benefit from something like this.
Right. And I can see it. You know
For
what I'm saying?
sure.
I've had a couple instances where we've cut the hair cut short. You know what I'm saying? Man's walked out half faded, but
half faded but full jaded. You feel me?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Facts.
Facts and bars.
Hey. But yeah, so I mean it just all depends on the individual.
For sure.
You know? But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, man. I say that because it's admirable. It's admirable, and those are the same reasons why your brothers look at you in the light that they do as a worthy leader, as a worthy role model, because that isn't something that just started you coming in here.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that, again, you're blessed to even have had instilled in you at an early age. And our parents aren't perfect, so they didn't teach us everything. But you and I are blessed to have parents that taught us enough that we have a healthy handle on that ego in knowing when it needs to come out, but also when it needs to stay sheathed.
Right.
And I look at the ego as a sword. The ego is literally a sword. And it's about understanding how much of a savage samurai you can be when you unsheath it, but knowing when it's appropriate to unsheath that sword. And it's like, why would I let this ego out unless I have to?
Right. Yeah. I understand that. I feel that 100%.
Hell yeah, 100%.
Brother. Yeah, it could break you or it can make you.
And for most people, it usually breaks them. For everybody, it breaks them. But for the ones that it makes, it's because they've endured, going full circle to stuff we talked at the beginning, they endured all the failures that inevitably broke them. And that ego will break you. And that's where you have to learn from it, stand back up, dust yourself off, and understand, maybe I wasn't handling my sword the right way. Maybe I gotta be a little more mindful in how I even allow this ego to navigate me in my life. Because are you controlling your ego or is it controlling you?
Good question.
When you come in here, I'll answer it for you.
There you go. If you need your ego checked.
SST is here for you.
SST, baby.